So a couple days ago, I was watching a video on YouTube, and a guy was talking about, um, he was telling some story, and how I think he was talking about people that he doesn't know versus people that he does know, and he was thinking about starting a business, and he was talking to people that he knows, and they were kind of blowing him off or doing something. And then he was also talking to people that he doesn't know, and he found that people who he didn't know were more supportive than people that he did know. And my first thought about it was, he's talking to too many people. First of all, if you have a business that you want to start, you have a creative project that you want to start, do not talk to anybody. Don't talk to anyone. Don't tell anyone what your plans are. Don't, look for advice on what to do or how to do it. And the reason why I say that is because, A, you're probably not really serious if you're talking about it and not actually doing it. If you're not sitting down with a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, and you're not writing out what your plan is, you're telling somebody else, whether you know them or you don't know them, what your plan is, you're not serious. You just want to talk. You just want to appear like you are a very motivated and forward-thinking person, and you're going to do great things in your life. But you're not actually going to do that. Because if you were actually going to do that, you wouldn't be talking about it. You'd be actually doing it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you tell people what you want to do, or how you're, and you talk about like how you're going to do it, or whatever your motivation is in talking to other people about it. The people, okay, and this is pretty much all people. When you go to them and you're all excited and you're going to start this thing, and you tell them that you're going to start this thing, automatically they try to point out all of the bad things that can happen in this thing. I don't know why it is. I don't know what the driving force is. I'm thinking maybe people trying to hold you down, keep you small, or maybe that's what they do to themselves. Maybe they have had business experience or thoughts about business, and they talk themselves out of it because what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? Yeah. So you don't want to talk to anybody, because all they're going to do, they're not going to say, that is a great idea and you should get to work. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, well, have you thought about insurance? Have you thought about, the fact that you could get sued? Have you thought about, they're going to bring up every negative thing possible. And they're going to make you question whether or not you should even do it in the first place. And the third thing I can't remember I wrote down. Oh, there's going to be people who will steal your idea. And they may not do it exactly the way you would have done it, but the fact that they are doing it at all, there's a lot of people, if you give somebody an idea, they're very motivated, and they think, that's a really good idea. I should probably do that myself. And if they have the right amount of motivation, and they're not talking to anybody about it, they will very likely do it. So you don't want to put yourself out there with things like that. You want to be very stoic. You want to be very quiet. You want to just do what you're going to do. And you don't have to do it all at once. If you have an idea and it makes you feel good and you want to carry on with that idea, you do not have to have all of the answers from beginning to end at the time that you're starting the project. You just take the idea, you take the vision of what you're trying to create, and you start with step one. Whatever step one is, start there. And if you're not sure what step two is, it doesn't matter. Just work on step one, and when step one is done, step two will appear. And so on and so forth. It'll go step two, step three, so on. And before you know it, you will be doing your big vision. You will be in that energy of doing that vision. And that kind of brings in the manifesting part. You want to imagine what it is you want while you're doing it. So if you want, if it's a business idea and you've started this business, you're working on step one, and you've told nobody about it, you just visualize what you want from the outcome. What do you want to see happen in this situation? And it works out kind of nice because you're busy doing the actual steps, but you're visualizing in your mind what the outcome is, how you want it to proceed. And in each step, you recognize how the step that you're taking on that project is a vital step to the big picture. And then when you get to step two, you do the same thing. You go, wow, this really is vital. This is, something that I need to do. You don't have to figure it all out in a day. You don't have to sit down and write out a business plan, unless, of course, you're going for a loan. But even then, it's not etched in stone. It's kind of, what you expect to happen, but things can change. And things most likely will change along the course of this plan. And then you want to be really, really, really cautious. When you're in that space, you're in that zone and you're building this business and you're thinking about the big picture and the outcome and how you want it to affect people or the world or yourself or your family or whatever. You want to be really careful that you're not one of those people that, had you told your plan to, would have said everything negative. Okay? You do not want to worry while you're manifesting, because you will literally manifest the thing you're worried about. So if you're in a situation where you know you're in step 4 and you have to do step 5 next, but you're concerned about all these things in step 5, you don't want to be thinking about those things. You don't want to be concerned, and you don't want to get stuck in that energy. You want to just do step 5 as though it is the correct thing to do, and you are manifesting this big picture image. Don't get caught in details worrying about something that you can't necessarily control, because worrying about it is a surefire way of it actually happening, because you're in this creation mode. You are creating this thing. You're creating this big picture. And you're in a step, and you're getting ready to finish this step, and you're going to this next step, and you have all these worries about the next step. You have to put those worries aside and just do what you do. You can't focus on the things you're worried about, because you will actually create them into reality. So never manifest anything while you're worried about something. Just focus on the big picture. Focus on what this looks like when you've got it all done. And I just said the other thing. So basically just do it. Just do what you do and think about that big picture. The other thing is, and this is true of life, and I'll probably do another video on this, just because. But it also applies here. And that is learning how to communicate with your guides, your guardian angels, your spirit guides, angels, whoever. Each person, even if you don't realize that you have these, every person has them. Every person has a team of spiritual energies, spiritual beings that assist you with your life. And if you can figure out how to communicate with them, like I said, I'll probably do a video on how to communicate with them. But if you can figure it out and you can start communicating with them, your life will get so much easier. You will find that your guides, your guardian angels will give you the tools to succeed. They will tell you, yes, do this. No, don't do that. And they are able to see everything from a higher perspective. So they can see things 10 years down the road that you can't see. But a decision today might affect that thing 10 years down the road. Or 30 years down the road, or your next lifetime. It could be even in another lifetime. It doesn't necessarily have to be in this one. So your angelic beings, your guides, your guardians, they can see things you can't see. And they can tell you how to best carry out your plans. They know what your plans are. They're listening. They know what you're thinking about. They know what you're doing. And if you have this burning desire to tell someone, that's who you want to tell. That's who you want to tell. That's who you want to talk to about it. Not human beings who have egos and are going to get in your way. You want to talk to your divine team. You want to have a conversation with them, and you want to communicate with them daily. You want to have them help you on your spiritual path, on your business building path, on your creative path. You want to have them help you with everything. It is within your best interest to have them help you. It is within their best interest to help you. You should be working with your spiritual team to live this life. It's all an illusion. There really isn't any reality to it. It bends and it shifts and it shapes all the way through. And you can control that through your divine team. And you can't do that without them. You cannot do that without them. The other thing is, demons do not communicate with their spiritual teams. Okay? So if you're sitting around thinking, I don't have a spiritual team, I'm not going to communicate with you might be a demon, okay? You want to work with your spiritual team and God as your co-creators in whatever it is that you're working on. And you might find that if you do that, that vision that you have, that manifestation, will be not only as good as you thought it could be, but 10 times better. So no negative thoughts. Learn how to work with your team and manifest. Manifest, manifest. And if you're talking about the process with anybody other than your spiritual team or God, you are wasting your own time.